Okay, move that pen.
Alright, so what are we talking about?
Okay, put it over there. Come on, seriously.
What's wrong with the pen?
Focus. I don't know. It's blue. I don't like it. That's why we traded.
Okay.
Hey, honey.
What's up, baby?
You asked me what we're talking about.
I did.
No, now.
Okay, what are we talking about? What's up, baby?
Hey, honey. No! Hi, honey.
What's up, baby?
Today we're gonna play a game.
Oh, yeah?
Don't look!
Where do you want me to look?
Okay. Today, you can't see me anyway. Today I want to talk about cultural appropriation.
Aw, man.
But what makes it appropriation versus appreciation?
I have no idea.
It's very confusing.
Because to me, it's like if I think, baseball is cool, I'm gonna wear baseball tees, right? Those baseball shirts that the baseball players wear. Am I appropriating
Well,
baseball
that's not a
culture?
Baseball's
Or am
not
I
a culture.
I'm just saying, like, if it was a culture. Like, am I allowed to do that as a non-baseball player? Can I wear a baseball uniform?
Let me give a better.
Or is it like...
When I was 10 years old, right?
Oh, my gosh.
I wanted to be a boy for Halloween. And my mom said, I don't think you should do that.
I don't think you should tell the story.
I was 10!
No.
I was 10.
But your mom wasn't 10. Don't
No,
do
but
this.
it was a different time. Listen.
Don't do this.
Seriously?
I don't know. Go
Okay,
ahead.
so I wanted to be a little boy for Halloween.
I'm sorry, Momsy.
Now, 10 years old is not the age to do stuff like this, right? Because kids are mean. So anyway, my mom put a mustache on me. I had on a jumpsuit. It was bad. I came home crying because I was like, yo, this was like a horrible idea. And she was like, I told you like a million times that it wasn't going to go well. Like, she was trying to buy me a princess costume, and I was like, you know what I want to do? I want to be a boy. And she tried to talk me out of it. I was a boy, whatever. I was crying. This is back, pre-COVID, when you actually went outside for Halloween and you went trick-or-treat. Laugh.
I never went outside for Halloween. I don't get this joke. My mom did.
Okay. You have like tears in your eyes. Are you okay? This
It was a very hard time.
So I lived in Flushing as a kid. Flushing, Queens, which people call like mini Chinatown.
Oh my god.
I grew up with Asians. This is not cultural appropriation.
Oh yeah?
This is straight appreciation because I grew up with Asian people my entire life. Like, my high school was like maybe 70% Asian, 20% Spanish, and 10% black. Like, I was a minority and Asian, like with an Asian majority, which is like crazy. But anyway, I was 10. I had these like pajamas that my mom had bought me from like some kind of Flushing little shop, and they basically looked like an old school, like, I was about to do something very appropriating with my hands.
I feel like
it was like it had like an old school like Asian print on it. It was made of
right
silk.
line.
Listen.
Okay.
It was made of like this really like pretty silk, and it was supposed to mimic something with like Asian culture. So I decided to wear it for Halloween because it was like the prettiest thing I had in my closet. That's it. That's where I'm gonna end that story. I told you this story recently.
Yeah.
And you told me it was cultural appropriation.
Yes.
Because
Asians are not a costume.
I wasn't trying to be Asian.
You said.
What we said the costume was like I was like some kind of like princess because it was such a beautiful set of clothes. So I felt like it was like real silk, babe. It was pink and it had these really pretty things on it, and I wore my hair like I tried to mimic a picture of like some kind of princess that I saw, and it made me really happy, and I felt really beautiful in the outfit. Fine, whatever. Told you this. You said it was appropriation, but my question to you is why not appreciation? Because I grew up around these cultures and I love them so much. So that's kind of what we're talking about today, in the sense of like what's appropriation versus
what's
appreciation.
And is there a difference, and should people get so worked up about cultural appropriation?
Like, you say it's cultural appropriation, but in high school, when I was done in high school, I would take the bus with my Korean friends to Main Street in Flushing, and we'd go to these like hole in the wall Korean like bakeries, and I would sit down and eat Korean food and not be able to read the menu or speak the language, but like I was brought in there by my Korean friends because I loved the food so much. That's appropriation?
Some would say yes.
Okay, so I have a couple of examples of some major things that people are saying either are appropriation or appreciation, and I want to read them to you, and you don't know what I wrote. We're going to play the game of is it appropriation or appreciation.
Okay.
I have a couple of them.
I can dig it.
Okay, so just going off the basis of like Asian culture. This is example number 1. I only have like 3 or 4 because we can do this forever. We might have to do this once a week. Gwen Stefani and her Harajuku girls.
Oh.
Is that cultural appropriation or appreciation?
So if I'm remembering this correctly,
there were 4 of them.
Gwen Stefani's Harajuku girls are Asian, yes?
They're Japanese.
They're Japanese.
Yes.
When she
100% Japanese.
When she did the music videos, they filmed them on location in Japan, yes? And there was Japanese people in the videos, and they were wearing Japanese clothes and everything like that?
Yes.
That's appreciation.
She had them in a contract that they were only allowed to speak Japanese in public places. She did not want them to speak English in public places, even though they spoke English. She renamed them Love, Angel, Music, and Baby. And they had to wear typical like anime like clothes. Did you ever remember their clothes? Plaid skirts with like they had to dress very like old school anime.
This is rough. This doesn't sound like appropriation though. This sounds like slavery.
People, they were getting paid, you ass. People are saying she used them as
like indentured servants,
as props.
She absolutely used those women as props.
Okay, but
like objectified them.
I'm giving you more information though. People say that she used them as props.
Okay.
But she calls herself a super fan of Japanese culture.
She is.
Spent a lot of time in Japan. Can speak some Japanese.
Absolutely.
And that was her way of paying an homage to Japanese culture, was to go to Japan and hire 4 aspiring dancers, go on tour with them, pay them good money.
You know what's crazy about that? In Japanese culture, I know with K-pop, I'm not sure with like J-pop or like any of the Asian things, but with K-pop, the entire industry absolutely takes aspiring singers, renames them, forces them to dress a certain way, forces them to look a certain way. Not forces them, because they're being paid.
Yeah.
They sign up for this.
But this is like part of their contract.
They're not supposed to be dating. They can't be seen showing any PDA in public because the fans of the K-pop think that they're in relationships with those people.
Yeah.
Whether they're women or men or whatever, like it doesn't matter. Like the K-pop boy band guys are not allowed to date, have be in public, partying, drinking. Yeah. They have to present an image of a wholesome, boyish boy band, so that the girls who love them can think like, oh, he only has eyes for me and stuff like that, and it's in their contracts and stuff like that. So she didn't give them anything weird culturally for them. Like that's a standard cultural
appropriation or appreciation.
That's a standard contract in the Asian culture around those stuff.
So what do you say?
I think that is appreciation. I think maybe a little bit.
It gets a little weird.
It gets a little strange.
Why are they not allowed to speak English?
Why can't they speak English in public?
Because she just wanted it to be like as authentic as possible.
Okay, that's not. If they speak English, that's not authentic. But I think that's appreciation. I don't think she overstepped in, really.
So this was back in 2004. So at the time, what she did was something really cool. But now that it's 2021 and everybody is just very oversensitive, there are a lot of people coming out saying that what she did was wrong. She released a statement that she has no apologies. She considers herself a super fan.
Listen.
And she absolutely loved spending time with those girls.
Those women got paid.
Okay, so
she was in Japan doing Japanese things with Japanese women.
Appreciation. That's
my final answer.
Okay. The second one I have for you is Justin Bieber with his dreadlocks.
White people with dreads is becoming so
it's like
so more common that it might be like a white people thing now, dreads.
Or just a people thing.
It's just a person thing.
It's a culture thing in the sense of like, I don't want to be offensive on how I phrase this.
But listen,
white people who have dreads kind of always have this real like down to earth kind of style. You know what I mean? Like it kind of goes with a style versus a culture now.
My thing is, right, if the dreads thing is supposed to be rooted in like Jamaican culture, that's where we're saying it's from, right?
I believe so.
Like
Definitely
Jamaican, Mother Earth,
culture.
like herbs and in tune with life,
like
kind of natural lifestyle.
Yeah.
Like if that's how the white people who have the dreads carry themselves, and a lot of them do.
Yeah.
Real earthy, like mother, peace, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, if their hair does that, then why not?
But Justin Bieber does not follow that.
Justin Bieber does not follow that.
He does not.
So I feel like that's appropriation.
You think so?
I think he's just appropriating something that he's seen his black friends do.
Do you believe that hairstyles should belong within
a culture? That's the question. See, that's why this is so hard, because it's like, if their hair does that, then that's just a hairstyle, right?
Why can't it be a hairstyle?
Is it appropriation when black girls straighten their hair?
Hi, can you stick to my points, please?
No, this is your point. Is it appropriation if Justin Bieber gets dreads?
Shh. Stick to Justin Bieber.
Okay, sorry.
God damn it. Justin Bieber with dreadlocks.
Justin Bieber with dreadlocks.
Appropriation, appropriation.
I'm gonna say that's appropriation, just because, like, stop it, Justin. He knows what he's doing.
Appropriation.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing.
All right.
There ain't about no appreciation.
The queen, what people consider the queen of cultural appropriation, Kimmy Cakes, with cornrows.
Who is it?
Kim Kardashian with cornrows.
Oh.
Is that?
And then when she like darkens her skin, and she be blackfishing.
Can you stick to what I'm asking?
You got that
too? God damn it.
That's not a separate conversation.
It's not, that's what is on my paper, but I just want to stick to.
Okay, all right. So I should just like answer them and not.
If you could.
Okay, all right, yeah.
So, hold on. Everybody needs to calm down.
Kim Kardashian with cornrows.
Kim Kardashian with cornrows. Now, I don't have a backstory on Justin and his dreads. He never released a statement as far as like all the backlash he got for them. The only thing he ever did was he wrote an Instagram comment that said, "We're all hurting. We all should just accept each other for what we want to be and like what we want to look like." That's all he's ever said. So I don't even know if that's about his dreads. Kimmy Cakes with her cornrows. She got her cornrows in, and she said that they were Bo Derek braids. Now, Bo Derek is like a white actress from, I don't know, the 70s or something, who had a certain style.
That's a goddamn reach.
Hold on.
she Googled until she found something like who was the first white person.
It's a style, though. Like the way she got her braids is like for them to all go like this and go back, and then for the two in the front to go like this. So she called them Bo Derek braids because she literally got the same pattern of cornrows as this old actress. Called them Bo Derek braids. So people went crazy because they're like, those are cornrows. Like, how do you even say they're a white woman's, you know? And she was like, no, the style, whatever. The first time she ever got her hair cornrowed is because she was going to have North's hair cornrowed, which is her half-black daughter. And North said, "Mommy, will you do it with me? Because I've never had braids before. Can we do it together?" She said, "Okay, we'll do it together." So Kim Kardashian keeps most of her kids' hair in cornrows. Like her son Saint, hair gets braided every week, scalp gets moisturized. Like, why is that not appreciation that she has half black children and she's trying to put them in black culture?
I don't know if that's appropriation or appreciation. Mm-hmm. I feel like back to our other point of like, is hair a culture? I feel like hair might have once been a culture, but no one is thinking about when they put braids in their hair, the African women that put braids in their hair in 1300.
Or the slaves that braided their hair because they would put grains of rice in between each cornrow as they braided, so that if they ever got lost trying to escape the plantation, they could unbraid their hair.
That's facts.
It's facts. It comes from slavery. I mean, I'm sure it comes from old African culture too.
Yeah, but I don't think anyone who wears braids is thinking that. I don't think the black women who wear braids are thinking that. Like, this is true to my roots. I think it's easy to maintain and it's not a lot to deal with. And
just in general, what are they called? Like low maintenance hairstyles or protection hairstyles work better for black hair.
Yeah.
So like Ava's hair has been in braids this entire summer because in the morning she wakes up, she doesn't have to do anything to it. Low manipulation hairstyles work better for black hair. These are facts.
So is that a cultural thing if white people put braids? I don't think so.
White people don't have to do low maintenance hairstyles.
Yeah, but I just mean like I don't feel like they're trying to appreciate or appropriate anything.
Yeah, like Justin Bieber didn't do it because he doesn't.
No, Justin Bieber appropriated that.
No, I am saying Justin Bieber didn't do it in the sense of like I want to protect my hair, so let me lie.
No. He was absolutely trying to portray an image of himself
with cornrows.
That is otherwise like maybe not as true to himself as he would like people to believe. Like I think that's where appropriation is like.
Okay.
If you're stepping outside of yourself to do something as a hey look at me kind of thing, rather than if you just do it because you like it or if you just do it just to do it.
Yeah.
I feel like Kim Kardashian braiding her hair.
Kimmy Cakes.
I'm not calling it that. I feel like her doing that to her hair or her kid's hair is just hair, man.
I think it's kind of cool that she did it to her hair and to her kid's hair, only because she does have half black children, and I feel like she's trying to, like, her being, because Kim Kardashian is not white, she is Armenian. She could have easily relaxed all of her kids' hair and had it straightened every day. You know what I mean? But the fact that, like, she is trying to learn how to take care of their hair, or she is trying to get their hair braided and that kind of thing. I feel like she's trying to give them a little bit of black culture when she doesn't have to. She's Kim Kardashian.
And yeah, that specific style of braiding, like cornrows and stuff, might be black, but there's other cultures that braid their hair that's not
I just think it's cool.
Especially because you said she's like Armenian. That's like over on...
She's brown.
She's brown, right?
Yeah, she's brown.
Brown people do braids. They might not do cornrows. They do braids.
Yeah. I think it's kind of cool. Only because I feel like when it comes to mixed
White
children...
White people do braids. What about Elsa braids and stuff like that? But what are you doing right now?
I just want to get the exact wording for this before I mess it up. But just going off of hair really quickly, I did add in just like black women chemically processing their hair to be straight. And that's not considered cultural appropriation, only because, like you said, I don't think hair... I don't think hair falls into these categories anymore.
Yeah, I don't think hair falls into because someone might be like, oh, your hair doesn't grow like that. That Asian women's grow. Y'all trying to be Asian while you got that Asian weave.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't think they're doing it in the sense of this is going to make me look more Asian.
Yeah.
Or like I really appreciate the way white and Asian women's hair just grows long naturally. I think they like the hairstyle to like they want their hair to look like that. So if it's not appropriation when black women do it, so we can't be like it's appropriation when...
So if hair is off limits, then why is Justin Bieber sitting in the appropriation pile?
Honestly, I just don't like Justin Bieber.
Okay, my last one...
And I feel like the dreads thing is more culturally linked still.
To a certain
culture and a certain lifestyle. Okay. Like, I feel like braids or straight hair or like any other afros and stuff like that, that's not tied culturally to anything anymore. Like it might have once been, but like afros, like curls, afros, braids, I don't know. If a white person picks their curls out and wears a big afro walking down the street, it might be a problem. They might be doing disco culture, 70s.
That's true, I guess.
They're not doing a black culture, like just because that's how black people's hair grows naturally. That was a style in the 70s. So like I think they're just styling their hair. Yeah. But with dreads, I feel like it's more a statement piece if you have dreads. You're trying to show cultural roots. Yeah. You're trying to, like, I know people with dreads and they're real dreads. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like they're real about their dreads. So it's like it's just not real.
Just reading off
of gets fake dreads.
Yeah, I think reading off of this in order to like play this game with you, I think I've learned what the major difference is. And I have one more that really pissed me off.
So what is your last one?
No, we'll do that one after.
Oh, okay.
The difference between cultural appropriation and appreciation, based off of what I just read while I was peeing, is appreciation means actually caring about the backstory before you go and you do something.
Right.
So like appropriation is, you know what, I really, really want to wear a hijab because I think I have really pretty eyes and like I'm a rock one. And then I walk around outside with a hijab on and people go like, oh, are you Muslim? I go, no, why? That's appropriation.
Like you don't even know what that means.
You don't even know what it means.
Didn't
Selena Gomez.
Kimmy
K?
Was it?
I don't think so. Selena Gomez wore like a South Asian bindi and got in a lot of trouble for it.
Kim Kardashian was in...
Something with a hijab on?
Dubai or something like that. She went to a temple.
She was in her country. She was in Armenia.
And she wore a hijab.
No, it wasn't a hijab. It was like some kind of black scarf that she had worn to cover her hair during a ceremony. Because she's actually from this country.
I think I'm thinking of a different news story. She was just. I remember she was taking pictures somewhere, and in the pictures she. No, we ain't gotta go into it. But.
Okay, so the difference between cultural appropriation and appreciation is actually caring about the backstory before you go and you do something.
But how would we know that? How would we know someone's intent without asking them? What if we ask them and then they Google the backstory and be like, oh yeah, no, that's what I did.
I mean...
Anybody could say that.
It's not about saying it. It's about, that's just the major difference, like, for us to live our lives. So if I decide that I want to wear a hijab because I love the way it looks, before I go and I do that, I need to research the reasons why women wear them before I go and I do it, so I could at least know within myself that I'm trying to appreciate the culture. So a lot with these celebrities, no, you'll never know. We don't know if Justin Bieber has spent his entire life around people with this kind of hairstyle and loves it so much that he wants it. There's no way to tell.
The Democrats all coming out and wearing like dashikis.
Yeah, like who knows the reason behind it, but that is the major reason. So like if Kim Kardashian actually took the time to learn how to take care of her children's hair because they are black, then learning the best way to do it is to keep them in cornrows, and then now she keeps them in cornrows. That's the reason why that's considered appropriation. Gwen Stefani, considering herself a Japanese super fan, is what considers it appreciation. So that's the definition. So this really pissed me off. So I told you about this too. Megan Fox and Machine Gun Kelly, who are dating by the way, decided to go to another country to do like a ceremonial, to be a part of like a ceremony where they drink this like South African tea and basically like have hallucinations for a couple days. I was saying hallucinogens, but they went to another country to be a part of this big ceremony where they can basically like trip
like
off of this tea,
walk.
like a spirit kind of thing. And like we watched Snowfall, where they did go to this other country, and we watched basically, I think it was pretty accurate because from what I read about what they went through, it was the same thing. So like you start with like cleansing your body and not being able to eat or drink anything for a long time. You drink the tea. The first 2 days it makes you throw up because that gets rid of, what was the word they used?
Like evil spirits.
No. It gets rid of you caring about how you look. It makes you super vulnerable to have to throw up in front of 20 other people. So that when you do start to trip off of the shrooms or off of the tea, you're not so worried about what people think about you because you just threw up in front of these people for 2 days. So it's like a huge ceremony that they do in these South American countries. And Machine Gun Kelly and Megan Fox went to this country to go do it because they really wanted to trip off of something harder than what they've been doing here in the States. Is that appreciation or appropriation? Because that kind of upset me. Like to sit in, to be two white people sitting in on a South American ceremony that happens, let's say once a year, and they're sitting there. Do you think they learned about this country before spending a month there and decided to join in on this ceremony? Or do you think they've done shrooms in Cali this whole time? I was like, you know what we should go do?
I mean, if we're going off that, it is appropriation.
Not only that, but it's also a little bit of white privilege because you and I can't just go join another country and go do this.
I mean, we can if we're Kanye.
And you think Kanye?
Yeah, if we're a famous black
maybe
person,
it's not
they're
white
Machine Gun
privilege.
Kelly and Megan Fox.
Maybe it's just rich
celebrity.
privilege.
Yeah, it's rich privilege.
To join in on something like that is not something like how
I'm sure Jay-Z can go to Cuba right now and get in on one of these things.
That's
like,
not,
it's not
cool
about,
though. I feel like that's not cool at all.
My thing is like,
I mean, we just said. Does it matter?
Does it matter? Like, because like.
This is a ceremony that's like important to this culture. In the middle
I don't know.
of, they went to Costa Rica and they sat in the middle of the jungle and did this with an entire, it says with 20 other people they did it. And they were there for 3 nights. It was incredibly intense. It was a different journey different than any other drug they've ever done together. And it's like, do you think they really did the research on what it means to this Costa Rican community?
No, but then at the end of the day, if those people didn't care and they let them join in the ceremony and didn't really ask them what their reason for joining is, it's like, should we at large care?
Yes.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's what I mean by, like, should we care? Like, okay, at the end of the day, at the end of the day, if Gwen Stefani or Machine Gun Kelly or whatever, if they're going to Japan or going to Costa Rica with Costa Ricans, having a party, then doing a celebration and doing a spirit walk or whatever at the end, or like dancing around wearing kimonos and shopping and running the strip, and all the Asian girls are coming out and, oh, Gwen Stefani, Harajuku girls, we love you. If they don't care over there in Japan, over there in Costa Rica, why do we care so much here in America?
Because
like, you're an appropriator.
I'll tell you exactly why. Because they are ours. So we have to hold them accountable. Gwen Stefani goes to Japan, and these people in Japan are so excited to have Gwen Stefani come and show fake appreciation.
They love her there.
They love her there. The same way if he went to Costa Rica, it's like, I'm Machine Gun Kelly.
I don't think they love Machine Gun Kelly there.
But what I mean
Machine Gun Kelly, oh my God.
What I mean is, like, they're ours, so we have to hold them accountable. The same way when somebody from Japan comes here and does something crazy, we're just like, oh, whatever. But that he represents their country. They represent our country. I'm embarrassed at the fact that you had these two people a part of the ceremony, to me, for the wrong reasons. Like, it's our job to hold them accountable. Like, when that guy, there was a guy, some American guy a million years ago, and he went to whatever country and he graffitied. And he got put in jail there, and Obama had to go save him. Do you remember that?
Vaguely, yeah.
Some guy went to some other country, he did graffiti, and he got locked up in that country. You think those people are still thinking about him? Of course not. But we are, because it's like, dude, you're American. Like, you're making us look bad right now. They're making us look bad to go to these other countries and call it fake appreciation and not really mean it. We have to hold them accountable, because they're not. They're just excited to have Americans be a part of their ceremony. Why not?
Yeah.
It's us to be like, and she's talking about it in these interviews where she's like, oh man, the high was crazy. And it's like, I don't think they do it to get high. They do it to become closer.
Maybe
probably.
some of them do it to get high. You don't know what the talk was like before. Like, should we get like a Bible before we do this? Like, we just getting high over here.
Appreciation or appropriation? That's my final one.
Appreciation or appropriation? Man, there's got to be appropriation. It has to be. It has to be. I don't think they're devout believers of whatever religious faith practice that is to be like, we're gonna fly to Costa Rica and finally get in on one of these that we've been wanting to for our whole lives.
I'm embarrassed.
I think Machine Gun Kelly is from Cleveland.
Is he really?
He is.
Okay. Yeah.
He does a lot of drogas.
Yes,
and
but you know,
I think he just wanted to go do drugas with his
girlfriend
who does drugas in a different country where there was drugas.
The two of them spend a lot of their relationship doing these crazy experiences. They go to Hawaii to go parasailing, and they'll go to Antarctica to sit in an igloo, and like that's what they're about, is like pushing the limits. I feel like this was just a
so
thing
then
off their bucket
what's
list.
what's wrong with that?
Doing drugs in Costa Rica with people?
If that's part of their like, let's live life to the extreme, and like that's why they're doing it.
Keep
to
it in
live
America.
life to the fullest.
Keep it in America.
Don't go out in other countries embarrassing us.
All right, final thoughts.
Final thoughts, man. Appropriation versus appreciation. This was a good one.
Will you agree that back in the day it was a lot, like it was really, really different?
Back in the day, it was different. You know why? Because we've touched on this before in a different video where we say we're more connected now than ever. I think now, even if you don't want to, you're gonna learn about these cultures and learn what these things mean.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's a higher baseline appreciation for different cultures in general among the people now. Back in the 60s or the 70s, people were like more closed off, more closed-minded.
Yeah.
So when you saw an Asian person in a TV show or a cartoon, you remember?
And the Breakfast
Big
Club?
buck teeth, the little rice patty hats, and they'd be like
all right, easy with the hand motion.
with their hands like this and like their eyes
and the
closed.
gong would go off before they
and it's like with the
and the Breakfast
it was
Club,
terrible.
in the Breakfast Club there's one Asian dude who's like a foreign exchange student kind of guy, and he is an Asian guy who plays him, but he is like the perfect example of cultural appropriation. It's really, really sad. Nowadays you can't do anything with it because social media, Kim Kardashian wears braids and they come from
I was gonna get to that. So like the baseline level of appreciation is higher, but then
you appropriate just a dip your toe in appropriation, and
because everyone thinks they're so well informed about where this is from and what culture this belongs to and what that belongs to and what it should belong to, and everybody has these strong ideas on stuff. the level of backlash you get for even overstepping the line just a little bit is like completely blown out of proportion.
Let a white person have a kink in their hair. Whew, just a curl and people go crazy.
But then Beyonce could do African voice in her songs.
You hate that. You hate that so
and it's all good.
Yeah.
Why is that not appropriation? Because we're African American, but it's like, come on, how far removed from Africa are you that you could
She's done her videos in Africa.
I mean, sure, but Gwen Stefani did her video in Japan.
She uses people as props.
Okay, you don't think Beyonce is using these Africans as props just a little bit?
You know what I think about?
Just a little tad bit.
I think about Gwen Stefani like doing like a autograph signing, and for the Harajuku girls to be behind her, and for them to be talking to each other, and one of them to be like, "What do you want to eat for lunch?" Her being like, "Love, angel, music, baby, cut it out."
Shut down the shoot. Shut it down.
Then she replaces them with a different Japanese
girl.
Like
just somebody just comes and takes her. Takes her and just replaces her with someone else. Like,
oh my God.
Where's Angel? Like, no, that is Angel. Like,
she broke her contract. That's fine.
Like, no,
who did I make this out to?
This is Angel. Like, oh.
That's scary. Oh my God.
But yeah, I mean, like,
it's a thin
line. Or what about Lil' Kim doing Jamaican voice and her put your lighters up? That's cool. We cool with that? Where's the line? You know what I mean? Like, what? Why come black people just get to do whatever voice and whatever?
I forgot about Lil' Kim.
How come black people just get to do whatever voice
put your
and whatever
up
and wear whatever? You know what I mean? Traditional stuff because black is black. Like, yo, Jamaicans probably don't feel that way. So.
Okay, if you don't sit your ass down.
Relax that.
Oh.
So yeah, this I like this.
This was fun.
We should do this more often.
I had to decide which ones, and I tried to keep a general theme. So I knew I was gonna talk about like Asian. So like I went Asian, and then I went hair. But
maybe mix it up a little bit more because I kept touching on your next topic before you brought it up.
What do you want to say to the people?
Final thoughts.
Why don't you come up?
Oh no, that was final thoughts. So what I want to say to the people: like, comment, subscribe, share, reshare,
and get involved in the conversation.
Get involved in the conversation. We want to hear appropriation versus appreciation. Who else got some more things where it's like
Kim K got like
kind of
pages and pages.
A double standard. Like what's some appropriation that we kind of look the other way on because the people are black or the people are minority versus like we always calling white people out on their stuff.
Yeah. Like when any rapper yells bullet, I feel like that's not
like French Montana. What the hell is his whole?
Where's he from?
I don't know, but him and Drake did a video in what was it, Cuba, where they were doing Dominican Republic, where they were doing like Dominican accents.
Oh God, I forgot about that.
Today we have a absolute classical for you.
It's and hing.
Yeah, well, French Montana and drag.
I like your move.
I try.
I try. We try too, papi.
Let's cut it off, because I can go all day with this.
All right, thank you guys.
Thank you.